What's going on, guys, and welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at the best decks for Havoc and break down the newest 2-drop that is capable of 20 plus freaking power with a major con, but he's also able to cause your opponent to peace out by turn 3. I'm going to give all my thoughts today, break down the best decks, combos, and everything you need to know. And answer, is Havoc hot trash or treasure? But first, let's start with the basics, starting with the man himself in Havoc. Now, Havoc is a 2-cost, 0-power card with the ability of after each turn, you'll be losing 1 max energy, and he'll be gaining +4 power. So in a snapshot, essentially whatever turn you play him on will be the energy that you are capped at for the remainder of the game as long as Havoc is on your side. Now, here's a quick and easy way to look at both the energy and power that Havoc can get to so that you can determine probably the most optimal time to play him depending on the decks you slot him into. So before everything, let's just get right to it. Is Havoc worth buying? And it's a yes and no, a lot like some recent cards coming out. I'm actually going to be giving him about a 3.5-ish for Havoc here, but in the right archetypes, I actually love the hell out of him. I think that he's definitely not going to be for everybody, and I can confidently say that. His stats surely will not look great globally, putting that ability in the hands of all the Marvel Snap players, but I would probably get him for tokens and or go for spotlights if you don't have Nico and Legion. If you enjoy archetypes like Bounce, Mr. Negative decks, and Junk decks altogether, with Bounce definitely being the main winner here. We're going to talk about the pros and cons with Havoc overall. He can feel clunky. There are things that, off the page, he's not looking that great. Surely, if he doesn't interest you or you're not great at playing Bounce decks, I would probably lean towards passing him unless you just want Nico and you don't mind, trying to get Havoc alongside Nico, who coincidentally is really good in Bounce as well. Mr. Negative, he's a nice flavor add. We'll get to that a little bit later. And then Junk decks, he can slot in there as an alternate playline as well. Now let's look at the pros and cons of Havoc. First of all, great stats. Obviously, you play him by turn 5. He's a 2/8. That's really good. Even on turn 6, he's going to be giving you 4 power. And you can get that even better, and within the right decks and synergistic cards, he's pretty damn good. Now, he's also giving you an instant win condition. You have about a 15% chance to pull it off. We'll get into that a bit more later. To get 2 cubes, pretty damn easy. And then, of course, he is a location winner as well. Kiln, you have Crimson Cosmos. There's other locations that Havoc is just great to be played into. Storm from your opponent, no problem. Put him into the flooding lane, and you're probably going to end up winning that with Havoc's scalability. Now, as for the cons, obviously, it can feel pretty damn awkward to play at times. That ability is definitely very punishing, so overall, it can lead to a low win rate for the card altogether, and he's definitely not, extremely flexible. I think he can work in more decks that we might have thought, but he's definitely somewhat limiting. Now, lastly, in terms of star ratings, guys, let's talk about difficulty. This is a first, but Havoc is not an easy card to play. Anytime you're giving your opponent a card, you need to make sure you tech against. It's not the easiest play lines, and he doesn't slot into the easiest of archetypes, giving him probably like a 4 or 5 star of when to play him, when to send him, and everything in between. But hopefully we help you with that on today's video. I mean, guys, truly, Havoc is an interesting card in every sense of the word. On the Snapchat, I said he's got about a 2-star to 4-star range, with ultimately, I think, being towards the higher end of that. But let's talk about the cards that if you happen to get Havoc, you're going to want to play with them to really utilize that ability and the power scaling that he does have. Now, looking at his MVPs, obviously, guys, you have a good amount here, but we got to start with Viper. Now, obviously, guys, we knew Viper was going to be cool and synergistic with Havoc, and it's definitely proving to be just that. Cards that work with Viper just go well with Havoc decks in the archetype they all play into. Things like the Hood is obviously really good, and then Havoc can just feast off Viper, giving you an instant win condition. Now, you need 2 cards. The odds of this is about 15%, but we have other cards in the deck that can utilize Viper's ability. Again, like Hood, Mr. Negative, even having that -1 power. Celine next week will surely work into this deck and honestly make it even better, but more on that later. Viper by far is the best because you have this combo that wins you the game. Especially in today's deck, it'll win you the game outright with Viper, which is why she's so good. You're not going to get crazy cubes, but you get 2, 1, or conquest wins. Definitely adds up. Other MVPs are things like Goose to help you restrict the opponent from playing cards there. Kind of create your own Crimson Cosmos, and then you play Havoc on top of it. Beast and Falcon are probably my favorite combo, and again, what today's deck is all about. You see, Bounce is not for everybody, but the modern day Bounce deck is utilizing cards like Werewolf by Night, combined with great one-cost cards, and this is where Havoc kind of comes to play. You're not bouncing Havoc. I want that to be clear. You're not really ever bouncing Havoc unless you absolutely needed to. But what we'll be doing here is bouncing our cheap cards, and then we're going to be able to play them even if we are limited on energy. The most expensive card that we have in most of these Havoc builds is going to be 5 cost, and that's at the max limit. And so you can see why this is going to be very beneficial, taking advantage of these cards with good on reveals that we're going to end up cooking up later to really help us out overall. Now, as an added bonus, Falcon's also going to help us out with obviously Werewolf by Night, and you can keep on building both of these up at the same time. Now, after that, I do want to say Bast is an awesome card to play with Havoc because, again, the Hood, these other cards that you're looking at, Havoc himself, giving 3 power is freaking awesome, and it does find some pretty good use as a card. I'm a big Ravona fan. It can be tough to put them both together, but Bast is ultimately a flex card in some of these decks that we'll break down today. Now, Mr. Negative and Jane Foster, I gotta say, this deck is already one that, for the most part, if you get the combo, it's just going to win outright. But I do have to say, I played a fair amount of negative games, and it is another way to win. And overall, you got to love that. I think that it was really cool to play Havoc and have a 0-2 that then turns into a 0-6 for free, easily. And anytime we get a 0 power card, obviously Jane Foster here is going to feast, right? Lastly, guys, tech cards is going to be the perfect thing to go with Havoc. Now, obviously, this is every card, right? But with Havoc, the way you play this deck is you're either pushing the Havoc to the other side, or you're going to use him and his lane and his power to win you a lane, and then you just have to answer their best lane with one of the tech cards like Shadow King, obviously like Shang-Chi. This is a just beautiful combo altogether, and you're going to see that, again, a lot today in our decks. Now, speaking of those decks, let's hop into all of the builds, but by far the best one, and that is going to be Hellfire Bounce. All right, guys, let's go ahead and break down the deck being the best Havoc deck here, and listen closely because he's definitely a complex card on top of a already very complex archetype in Bounce. We're going to go turn by turn here, obviously starting with turn 1. We're going to be setting up our Bounce lane. We have Iceman, Forge, Hood, even Nico if she can double her own power or give power from her abilities. But outside of that, this one's pretty easy. You're going to start setting up your Bounce lane with preference changes a little bit if you do or don't have Falcon and Beast in your hand. Heading into turn 2, you're going to continue to play into the Bounce lane, obviously, with your cheap on-reveal cards. Very easy to start getting this done. However, you're always going to Havoc if you happen to have both him and Viper in your hand. This is the combo. This is the Wombo combo, and you always are going to want to snap prior to this playline to net yourself an easy 2 cubes. You'll be playing down Havoc, obviously by himself into a lane that you can easily accomplish the pushover with Viper. And lastly, if you have like terrible draw or it just so suits you, you can Viper maybe the Hood that you played on turn 1. But it's typically Havoc, set up your Bounce lane for turn 3, or play down, I guess, Viper into the Hood. Now, turn 3 is always, again, going to be Viper on Havoc if you just played him. If not, you can go ahead and start Beasting or Falcon back your 1-drops to your hand, depending on what you do have available. Or you can play down Werewolf by Night to start charging him up. All of these are great optimal plays to start cooking the deck's overall power. Heading into turn 4, this is going to be the first turn that you can play Havoc on, or you're going to want to play Havoc on. It's a bit confusing here if you want to play him, but, you know, if you do play him successfully here, he's going to be able to hit 12 power at the end of the game, so he can dodge Shang-Chi. Even if he gets, like, Shadow Kinged on turn 6, he can still go up to 4 power. People right now especially underestimate him gaining that power at the end of the game. However, most of the time, if you do have your 5-drop that's flexible in hand, obviously in this deck, I love Legion here, but you don't want to play Havoc yet because you won't be able to play that 5-drop. So I tend to wait on Havoc on turn 5 or even going into turn 6 some of the time, depending on the cards that I have in hand. Alternatively, guys, we can start cooking up our Werewolf by Night, saving our tech cards. We'll get to that. you can replay some of these on reveals you already had to start sending the wolf all over, playing them in different lanes, and mapping out your in-game plan. Now, turn 5 is a very common turn that you want to play down Havoc. At this point, he'll be an 8-power card, which is obviously really good, and you want to continue to build up the wolf. Again, save your Shang-Chi, save the Shadow King for your final counterplay on turn 6. This is how you're going to win a lot of the games. Or you're going to play down your 5-cost drop that's going to help you win the match. Legion is going to help you change different locations. You almost always want to play him on turn 5, unless you have like a Limbo or something that you want to change as a surprise on turn 6. Annihilus here is also really good because your Havoc, if you did play him on turn 4 and you do play the Annihilus build, well then the Havoc is going to be safe, right? And you can send over the Hood or whatever you did play prior to that. Other than those 2 cards, it's difficult to flex this spot here. I would say maybe Bast could go here, but Gamora, Doc Ock, also good 5 drops. Arrow can work to help just give you a little bit more advantage and continue to build up the Werewolf by Night. Now, lastly, we have turn 6, and obviously this is going to just complement what you've already done. If you maybe top deck Havoc or you haven't played him, get him down now for some easy power, or you can just bounce around the Wolf. If you haven't played a lot of Werewolf by Night, you're just trying to counter their best play, right? So you can go ahead and Shang-Chi or Shadow King, and then ultimately play another cheap card, maybe that you've bounced back, to have the Wolf go to the final location. This is just so many play lines to give you the win conditions here, and that's why the deck works out so well. And Nico, such a core card, and Legion, funny enough, they're both in the spotlight, can really help aid the deck. Nico copying cards, Nico giving power, all these things are very useful in the deck overall. And then obviously getting that nice draw is awesome early on to try to get the Viper and Havoc combo. Now, is the deck like the best deck in the game? No, but it's pretty damn good. I would say it can compete with some of the best decks in the game outside of maybe a few. And it can match up well against Loki. It can match up well against a lot of archetypes that are pretty tough to beat. Now, we're going to take this deck into all of the matches today, but I did promise a couple other decks. Listen, J Negative, this is a awesome deck that I think is just fun. If you watch my video about the new Negative builds, it's pretty much all around this, but you're going to be throwing in Havoc. You guys can go check out that video for the breakdown, but this deck, to its core, can be a little bit better with Havoc, and I definitely like the way that it plays out. So with that, guys, let's go ahead and hop into some matches, show you guys how this works on competitive ladder. Let's go ahead and jump on in. Alrighty, we have a top 1,000 player in Kaiser, and we have Havoc, Werewolf by Night, Falcon, and Shadow King with Strange Academy. Pretty good opening hand. A lot of play lines to win here. We have Kunlun. That's obviously very good with our Werewolf. We don't want to play Havoc quite yet. We've got a Falcon as well. I think we snap into this because of the Werewolf by Night advantage. We have Havoc as well. We have a lot of things to help us out win this. We zap them. Looks like we have potentially a negative player. We lose Shadow King, big bummer. He loses Iron Man. Obviously with Ravonna deck, that's a bummer for him. Let's get Werewolf by Night over here. We've got the Hood. Let's go Hood into Falcon. Bounce both those back. We're going to play Havoc next turn for sure. And we get Werewolf by Night just absolutely cooking here. Pick up the cards. Okay. I mean, this is a negative deck, right? We obviously know that. We can get rid of that. That's going to just be terrible for him. He's going to hate his life. Havoc is going to go right side. We will play... we're going to just plan to lose left side, right? So let's go Hood left. Iceman right. End him up over there. Hood left. Actually, Iceman middle. Get him cooked up. Add the Demon for the extra flare. I doubt it. Unless he's playing the new era negative where I have Killmonger in that deck. I don't think... I doubt he has Killmonger in the deck. Even if we have both Havoc and Werewolf to help us cook. We've got Legion to get things going too. And that was actually best case scenario that Cosmo's great there, right? Because we don't want our Werewolf to hop over, you know, because we're already winning by so much. If he plays a card right side, he's doing okay. Keep in mind we have 14 over there. Knowing his deck, and I know it pretty well, he's not going to have something to make up that difference, right? So this is a free 4 cubes and the win. Now he thinks he won, right? This is the thing about Havoc. This is the thing about Havoc that's crazy, right? He was like feeling pretty good about it. He was for sure. I do like the Miss Marvel into the negative build. Or this is just the ongoing Ravonna deck too. Both really good. With the Cosmo, it's the ongoing one. It's not going to be, because he's going to finish off with Onslaught there. That was going to be his final play. So it wasn't the negative one. It was close to it. In my opinion, it's like a top 5 deck, and we just did, you know, pretty good with Havoc. So win-win here, and Havoc just being a classic 2-8. Okay, we got Johnny and Iceman Hood to get things rolling. Let's get Iceman out now. Again, we're going to try to play our 1 cost in the same lane. Nico. That's fine. Let's go ahead and get the Hood down this turn. Hope we top deck something decent. If not, we can play the Wolf down and get that cooking early. Ooh. This is obviously good for the Hood. Oh, that's tough. Do we just Legion win this? Do we do it, guys? Let's play Wolf middle. And then we would Legion. Oh, I think we are okay here because we can just Legion it out, and that's like how we would win. We have Havoc here. Get our Hood. Play the Wolf. And dude, we're just gonna... Guys, we're just gonna do it. We have like 10 ways to win this game. We can kill him with our counter cards of Shadow King and Shang-Chi, or we do literally nothing. Legit nothing. We Legion this last turn. And we win. So we're just passing. We're like, oh, we got nothing to play. The travesty. It's a bad play if he's trying to go with a null, which he's not. Yo, I can't believe it's been so long since I've been able to pull a Legion off. Okay, we're gonna snap here. We're gonna play. Right? Because hold on, we have 5. Yeah. So we're gonna do the. We're gonna do this. We're gonna go Demon Havoc. Why not? Like we don't have to play anything, but we want to make it look like we're trying to be competitive. Or we even just go like Havoc over here, and we're like, okay, this feels pretty good, right? And then we play like maybe Demon over here because we're watching this right side. We're not gonna win the right side here. There's no chance. This would be 4 here. He has what? More than that? I think we go Forge into Havoc, left side. Again, we're throwing mid. None of this matters. None of this matters. Like we're just playing anything to make it look like we're trying to win. That was actually kind of good for him. Take this. This is going to be this is such a glorious way to win. And then we just drop down the Legion. So we definitely are going, like, we're definitely screwed here, but he's going to go all out, man. He's putting, like, Deadpool here. He's like, we're going to win this. This is a W. Johnny's feeling great. Legion, man. The location MV freaking P. Look at this. Oh, how are we gonna beat this, guys? How are we?
Victory.
I damn near think that there's nothing more fun than playing Legion on par with No Name. It's right up there. It's like one of my favorite things to do. It was awesome. All right, guys. So the starting hand, we have Forge, Shadow King. We do have the Havoc, and we have Shang-Chi, Hotel Inferno. Now, usually I say don't play in Hotel Inferno because you don't want to give him a better chance to draw, but... Oh, we're not playing a Thanos player. Interesting. Let's do it anyway. Okay, he goes Deadpool. So we obviously going to help him out a bit here if we get rid of like a card that's not too good. Wolverine, to me, is good enough to get rid of, in my opinion. We have Forge into Lake Hellas. Love that. Shadow King's pretty much an auto win here. So we're definitely just going to snap this out, probably. Now, we could have played Hood on the Forge to bounce that all back. I don't have him yet, and because of Lake Hellas, we are going to wait a little bit. Legion is pretty much an auto-win card as well, so we're going to wait till we have enough power to play him. And we're probably just going to go with a Demon here. We're going to chill. Not going to do too much on these turns, right? Now, he could have and will have Killmonger, so we got to look out for that a little bit. But again, not worried with the cards that we do have able to play. Let's go and hit him up with a Shadow King now. Funny enough, crazy enough, actually. And then we will go with Falcon, which I don't think we care about right side Falcon. We have most of the cards that we need. We're going to go ahead and snap now, reset the Deadpool, ruin his life, and then we can get all of our ones back if he does decide to kill Monger. It's, you know, pretty rough for him. And we still get to draw, and we have Legion, and we've got Havoc. Reset. Take him back. Carnage. I thought for sure that was going to be the Killmonger, but it's not. And it's Forge. And here we go. So I'm thinking, guys, because the reason we played into Vibranium so that we can Legion here, then we could do the Lake Hellas all around, and we have a bunch of one-drops. Or we play Havoc now, and we play down... let's go like Hood, right side. Maybe we go like Forge left, Hood right, Vibranium in the middle, and then that way we can play just Legion, or we play down all the other great cards that we have, and Havoc becomes pretty damn big. We could also just play Shung and Demon together. Either way, we're going to have priority here, so I feel pretty good about this. Let's see what happens. All right, we got Havoc into Forge. Now, we won't have Prio for what it's worth. We're going to be a tad short on Prio because of that left side. So there's a couple things we can do here. Do we think he's going to Arnim Zola? If he does, we lose. If we play Legion down, we add not too much because we're kind of spread out. And if he does Arnim, we could just go with this and that, and then win that way, right? Yeah, we don't have priority. I think I think this is the safer route. He's got the death there. He plays Deadpool. We kill that, and then we win right side. So there we go. Not bad. We kind of protected ourselves from both plays. There is a world he could have won that, but we actually ended up tying with the Havoc there, and I think that's a great showcase on why Havoc on 5 is pretty solid. Couple ways to win that one. We had to pick and choose, but we went with the Havoc on 5, and there you go. All right, we have White Hot Room, Forge, Nico. We do have the Havoc in the starting hand. After you play it, move it to the right. Let's go ahead and get the Forge down now. We're looking like we could potentially win out White Hot Room outright, which is obviously really good. Nebula comes down. That means literally like one deck at the moment, and that's High Evo. Now, he does have a way to get into that, so it's a little tough. And Nico actually ended up being a decent value. We have no way to get into that, so we do have to remember that. And we also can get some decent draw here. I'm thinking we might... We have Nico. It might be worth hanging out for a second. Let's go ahead and just play down Nico. We definitely like the 2 draw because we can just win. With the Viper, we let his Nebula get a little big. And we get Shadow King. So, you know, we get to play... we make up the Havoc massively here. And we get to play into Sanctum, which is really nice. Because we could change Sanctum, right? With whatever Westview becomes, unless it just completely screws us. Iceman is going to die, but which is good because we can also play into that lane even more. And we get the extra energy on top of it. So we hopefully hit something important. We kill Iceman. We get double draw. This is a hell of a play here. All right, we have Havoc going nuts. Vibranium Mines is like a bummer, but we will live with it. And Do we want to go... I don't think it matters. I think we have the cards we need. So we could just play Legion here. I think we go... This left side is looking probably pretty good. Hood might be a little greedy, but if we go Vibranium all the way across here, I think this gives us plenty of play lines to win. Especially because we have the Hood as well. Let's go with this, yeah. We're going into only turn 5, though. Do we need to play Legion now? This is also a stupid good play. Even if we get all these Vibraniums, I think that's okay, right? Like, I think we just do this, right? We just reset his Nebula, all that progress. And then we can also use Shadow King again if we need to on here. Again, we're fine with the Vibraniums. If anything, we actually love it because we're able to play those down with our reduced Havoc stuff going on. This is where we just play the Legion. And we can go Demon as well. Do we want to play... Yeah. Do we want to play Hood here? Is the question. Get another Demon. I don't think we need to, though. And we really don't need to play Demon now, but we kind of do. Because, you know, if we get Vibranium here, we're going to obviously want to play that. We're still good there. Left side, we're obviously good. And our Havoc is just cooking, man. He's cooking over there. Okay, final turn. Love to see what we got here. We don't have Prio, doesn't matter. Shang-Chi, get rid of that. Throw one there. We have that. If he full floats and does it, he can get that, but then he won't have enough. We win. Very insane, man. This is just such a good deck all the way around. We didn't use Werewolf by Night. We just used essentially a location advantage. Legion coming up strong as usual, and which is awesome because Legion is a spotlight, so if you don't have it, now's your chance to grab them. There it is. He's staying. All right, so we kill that. We actually really didn't even need to play that. What is he rocking with here? Oh. Oh. He's got the Shang-Chi in the deck. Okay, Havoc took one for the team. Havoc took one for the team, but we were able to spread our cards out just enough there, and we snagged ourselves a win. Alrighty, we have Hood, Legion, Werewolf, Shang-Chi. We have the Lake, so we like that. And we're playing an Annihilus deck, maybe the deck we have. We have a Gamma Lab going out. So I actually don't hate Shadow King, especially because the deck we're going up against, right? Like, let's just get a card out on Gamma. Okay. Really appreciate that. We have X Mansion. So we're going to go with this. Get 3 of those. He is going to have a Shang-Chi, though. So maybe we don't overcommit there. And just have the 2. Yeah, this guy definitely has a Shang-Chi. So we need to be somewhat careful. Now, the fun news is we have a Shung. As long as we don't lose this too hard. Oh, always love my boy Coulson. Yeah, I think that's fine. After you reveal, move it to the right. We have Khazar, which is actually kind of cool with what we need. We can play the Shung now just to get things cooking. And that's about it, folks. Yeah, I think we go... This, oh man, this is the worst effects you could be having right now. This is probably the play. Now, let's just... We're going to snap early. We're going to kill this Hulk. He's going to have to kill ours too. And we have Legion. Ronin even. It has some value here with how much cards he'll have in the hand. I'll be damned. He has something to go off that Wong. Does he have a way... Does he have Shang-Chi in the deck? Yo, this is the surprise winner right here. Oh my god. You gotta love to see it. Okay, so we go... Ronin. Now with Khazar. Do we Khazar now or next? I think we Ronin. He has 4 in the hand. This Wong is legit saving my life. If he had not Wong, I'd be afraid of a... no, of a Goblin. Yo, what? I can't believe that happened. He just did like the oldest trick in the book, guys. Okay, so check this out. He's gonna be like, oh man, I won the game, but we can boost these just by the hair, just by a little bit, man. And he's gonna go because he can't win right side. I mean, he could pad the stats left. He's out. Oh my god.
Victory.
That was awesome, man. Agent Coulson coming for the clutch, but we would have boosted this by 3, 4 over here, and then we we had middle one. So I don't think he would have had enough though to win. Definitely didn't have enough, but there you go. We have what the back? What is this? 2006 on Xbox? What the heck? So let's go hood left side, and if this happens to be Legion, we're about to have absolute chaos. It's our demon. Okay. Vision. Very good card for him. Ooh, Elysium. We've got the Havoc as well. Let's get the Wolf out now. We have some cool playlines here. Some cool playlines. He goes Electro. We can cancel that out completely with our Havoc. He can play, like, everything he wants to now. He's going to... Oh, my God. The ramp on this guy. He's going to be playing Pro X right now. I can promise you that. So let's go with he's playing it right this second, right? We're going to go Legion on Superflow. Actually, we're going to go Iceman. Legion, Iceman, Intern. At this point, extra energy does this, like us no good. He can only play one card at a time anyway, so energy has lost its luster. Shang-Chi can win us the game. There it is. Hello. Havoc is hot. Let's play Falcon now. Kick over this guy. We won't get the bonus energy, but we're fine. We're going to snap on this now. Kick these cards back. We have Havoc building up energy. We can Viper it over, even though we don't need to. There's no reason to Viper Havoc at this point. We just want to build him up for energy. What she can get up to, 12 power by the end of this. So we played down, right? Like, him getting vision to start is really good for him. Like, obviously, he has such a core advantage over us. There it is, if we wanted to do it. There's not much reason to do that, I don't think, because of the super flows. This early is, obviously very good. If he doesn't play left, I really like this play line. Even if he does, I don't hate it. So we play Hood, then I play Iceman, then we play Viper. Then we play Demon. This is a lot happening, guys. Check this out. This is Werewolf by Night is so insane.
Hello, can you understand me?
We're not worried. We're good with that. We can absolutely handle that. And here we go. So we've won that lane. This lane is fine. It's not even an issue. The only quote unquote issue is we Shang-Chi this, our Wolf hops to that, and we have no other way, right, to do okay here. I think though, like, that's such overkill. We don't need to do that. If we Shang-Chi here, we kill the Giganto, but then he could just play in the middle there. So our best play line, because he's going to just move a card here. I'll be honest, I think our best play line is just to kill the Infinite. I don't think he expects it. He might move this and play another card here. It's a little risky. I get it, but I think we're fine. He doesn't move Vision, which is definitely surprising. He plays Blob, but it's only 9 power. You know he's not using a deck tracker.
Victory.
I'll be honest, there's a lot of ways he could have won that, right, guys? Like, a ton of ways, but, because, I don't know, dude. The guy played Blob for 9 power. The moving the Vision was big. I think, ultimately, looking back, I probably would have killed the Giganto, but hey, nice win. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. I'll be playing a lot of Havoc with Twitch drops coming tomorrow. I believe they're at 8 a.m. if I'm correct, so you guys can catch me live on my Twitch stream. It's going to be just a hell of a stream. I can't wait to get a lot of Havoc play down there. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe down below. We're trying to get to 125 at the end of the year. It means a lot, all the support, guys. Until then, have a good one. Have a great one. Till the next one. Happy snapping.